gentlemen, and welcome to yet another edition of LC's Coaches Show. I'm Brad Wilburn, glad to be back with you here for Wildcats Media Sports. And joined again this week, or back again now, I guess this week, we are here with Coach Dennis Dunn of the now 3-1, and more importantly, 1-0 Louisiana College football team. Coach, how are we doing today? How are things going? Congratulations on the win. I know you had to be excited about it.
Brad, I appreciate it. Again, it's great to be here to celebrate with our Wildcat family, Wildcat fans online and across the nation who have watched us and kept up with us, and we just appreciate the support once again. Tremendous outing on Saturday. Big accomplishment for our running back, Aaron Cooksey, who celebrated his first 200-yard career, but also surpassed 2,000 yards in his career as a total rushing number. So what a great day it was for Aaron Cooksey, but also for the Wildcat defense.
Yeah, I guess, that's as good a place as any to start is Aaron, because like you said, over 200 yards, first time he's done that in his career. He goes over 2,000 yards for his career, which we kind of knew was going to happen at some point, but to get it in the fourth game was pretty cool. And also add to that the fact that the offense, or at least the passing game, was a little bit uncharacteristically off on Saturday. So it just worked out all together good.
Well, yeah, for us, we have so many weapons offensively, and you're going to have those kinds of games when maybe one phase of the game is not clicking like you would hope, and to be able to have a guy like Aaron that you can go to and hand him the football, and you got an offensive line saying, "Coach, run the ball," then it's fun to watch guys succeed in every phase, and we'll need every phase to be clicking on all cylinders come this Saturday. But just recapping, Aaron just was tremendous, and he has been. This is a guy who is a blue-collar workhorse who has really made himself into one of the top backs in the conference, and it's a guy that does all the little things right. He studies film. He meets with the offensive line coach every meeting, and sees how the blocking schemes work, exactly where he's supposed to press the line of scrimmage. And he's a product of hard work. And I know that sounds cliche, but this guy really is. He came from a high school offense where he was mostly a downhill kind of power back, and has turned himself into a tremendous zone running back who can find creases. And then when he can find a crease, he's now at a place where he can go the distance, as he proved on Saturday. This guy is a guy who can run when he gets into secondary as well, and he's a power guy. So if he has to run over you, he'll do that too. So just really proud of Aaron, and he's a guy that you can point to, and a lot of young players you can point. This is how you do it. This is a guy you can model yourself after.
Yeah, it's his second super long. He had a 74-yard run against Texas Lutheran, an 80-yarder last week. So he looks big and look like he can run you over, but he can run past you too, and that's a scary combination for sure.
He's been fun to coach.
Yeah. Another big bright spot from the game on Saturday was the defense. We've seen over the past few weeks how they've improved sort of week to week, starting with Huntington and Texas College and then Texas Lutheran. But Saturday, they came to play, and they showed up for big time.
And Brad, that's one of the things, for years our offense has gotten a lot of credit here for being high-powered and accomplishing so many things numbers-wise. But the fact of the matter is, and as coaches we know, and again, I say cliche, but it's true, defense truly wins championships. And in order to win a championship here, which is the ultimate goal, we've got to play great defense. And just hats off again to Coach Charles and his staff for putting together another quality plan and basically shutting down Howard Payne. And they'll have their hands full this week in a high-powered offense like Hardin-Simmons, but we're so proud of the job that they've been doing.
Yeah, I mean, and one of the things that's really been biggest, I think maybe the biggest change from last year was just the sheer amount of takeaways that the defense has gotten this year. Added 3 more to the already conference leading 15, I believe. So now it was 18 takeaways on the year. And like we talked about with Coach Charles last week, I mean, that's the goal, to get the ball back to the offense. And even when they may be struggling at times, you give them enough chances, they're going to get the end zone like they did.
Well, and they work on that. That's not a fluke. That's something that they emphasize in practice and something that they work on in drills. So we expect that. We expect to have turnovers. Our guys expect to get the ball back, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Yep. Final thoughts before we move on to Hardin-Simmons, like we talked about. Obviously, we're 3-1, which is very exciting, but also 1-0 in the conference with several tough games to come ahead of us. But good to get that first one under your belt.
No question to be able to win the fashion we won. Everybody was saying, well, what was wrong with the offense? Well, that tells you the standard that's been set for the event for the Louisiana College offense. I almost said evangel, man.
That was what you did.
That was a throwback right there. I'm like, wow. But we had a pretty good offensive evangel back in the day too. But the standard has been set at Louisiana College. It's such a high level that the expectations are high when you have almost 600 yards of offense and score 35 points. I mean, that tells you, and you're frustrated. That tells you the standard. So we're on pace here, and I just believe that if we'll just keep doing what we're doing as a team, taking care of our business in practice, taking care of the little things, the fundamentals that you work on week in and week out, this team's just going to get better and better.
Yeah. And a quote, off day, 566 yards. Yeah, okay, yeah. I know a lot of teams that would take an off day like that for sure.
Well, it's just we missed on some things that we really could have blown the game open early. And Easton admittedly will tell you that he wasn't as sharp as he had been, and he missed some throws, and we missed a couple of just, by a fraction, a couple more touchdown passes early, and the game again's out of hand, in the first quarter, at least by halftime.
Mm-hmm.
But give Howard Payne credit. They they played hard. They're scrappy. Their guys played for 4 quarters, and that's a credit to Hunter Sims and the job that he's doing there at Howard Payne. What a quality guy, what a quality program he's establishing there. So for the future for them is going to be good, and they're going to be dangerous in future years for sure.
Yeah. All right, well, I guess let's move on to this week's game. A big game because it is the next game, but also because it is against number 12 ranked Hardin-Simmons coming to town. Like we said, it's going to be a fun atmosphere. I think both teams undefeated in conference. Hardin-Simmons undefeated on the season. And they, like you mentioned already, pretty high-powered offense coming in, especially with Ryan Breeden and Reese Childress, the quarterback-receiver combo they have on the outside. Talk a little bit about that, I guess, first of all.
And their backup quarterback played this last week, and they still scored 53 points. So they're very talented. A lot of skilled people, a lot of things that they do to give you problems. They're also a team that can big boy you and pound the football, and that's their head coach was an offensive lineman there at Hardin-Simmons, so he really emphasizes the run game and the offensive line, and they do an outstanding job. And they, coming off a conference championship, gave Mayor Hardin-Baylor their first loss last year in years in the conference. So they're playing with a lot of confidence and playing with a lot of expectation that they're competing for another conference championship. So we know that they're coming to town with their A game, and we'll have to have our A-plus game.
Mm-hmm. Now, looking at, obviously you put last year behind you, but there has to be a little bit of we're ready for this game because of the game last year and the outcome of that one.
Well, this is 2016, and it's a different year, and I've said it all year long. This is not 2015. You go back and you think about all the factors of last year. I don't want to rehearse that. This is a different year. This is a different football team. This is a different chemistry. We got guys healthy. We got a lot of guys back that didn't play in that game, and you know, we fully expect to continue to be Louisiana College that we're used to being over the last 7, 8, 9 years that we've been in this conference, and you know, that's all I'll say about that. Yeah. We're excited to play the next game.
Right. Because it is such a big game, and I know a lot of people, fans, players, the guys are looking forward to this matchup. What would it mean to you? Maybe if you can give us some foresight, if we were to come away with the victory. I mean, what would that do for this team, this group, and for the future of the season?
We know that Hardin-Simmons is a perennial kind of power. When we came into to our status as a quality team in this conference, beating Hardin-Simmons in 2009 was a huge factor in us being escalated onto the national stage, and we got. I mean, it got the nation's attention when you beat Hardin-Simmons, and they had a few down years and have really recently come back up, and now they come in here in one poll they're ranked number 9 in the country. So you know, we in 2010 they were ranked number 7, and came in here and we were fortunate to win that game, and it propelled us onto the national scene again. So you beat a team like this, and obviously it gets not just the conference's attention, but it gets national attention. But we know that they're going to be just as prepared. They're going to have their, you know, they got great coaches, and they work just as hard as we do. So we know that all the little things will matter in a game like this. Turnovers, kicking game, all those things that you can't take for granted coming in, that to win the game, it's going to be it'll be a huge feat. But you know, we're excited about the challenge, excited about the opportunity to play a quality opponent like Hardin-Simmons.
And final question here: with the way the team has been progressing, it seems like you know, each side of the ball has really improved throughout the past 4 weeks, and with this big game coming up, I mean, is it easier as a coach to say, hey, let's just keep doing what we're doing, or does you try to eliminate any sort of complacency? Like, okay, we've been doing this well, we're just going to keep on going, but you got to keep that edge in a big game.
Well, like I've said from the beginning when we started the show, Brad, I like this team. I like the chemistry of this team. I like the maturity of this team. I like the leadership of this team. And these guys understand what's at stake. These guys understand what they have to do. It's not an immature team where you have to continue to hold before them. Here, all right, here we are. Here's the challenge. Right. This is a team that I think prepares well, and this is a team that I believe will continue to prepare itself week in and week out throughout this season because of what they put into the season. And again, this thing didn't just start in August. This thing started in January when they got back to campus from the break, and they know the work that they put in. They know how they prepared themselves when nobody was watching, when nobody cared. They cared, and they were preparing, and they were preparing for moments like this when people will be watching, and I think they will perform at a high level.
Yep. All right, well, certainly I'm already looking forward to it, ready to get this thing going. Saturday night, 6 o'clock, right here at Louisiana College. The Wildcats take on Hardin-Simmons in a big ASC matchup with a lot of implications down the road for sure for a lot of different things. So be sure to be there. If you can't be there, streaming online at lcwildcats.net. You can listen on the internet as well. Rich Dupree always does a great job with that. And, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So thanks so much for watching. Thanks to Jeff Young and the Convergence Media Department for making this thing possible. We'll see you next week. For Coach Dunn, I'm Brad Welburn with Wildcats
Brad, let me say this before you close. Let me just say this. For all you Central Louisiana fans, you have no excuse this week. LSU plays at 11. We play at 6. Come out and watch a great college football game at Wildcat Stadium.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of stuff going on campus throughout the day as well, so it will be fun. For Coach Dunn, are you done this
I'm
time?
done.
You
I'm done.
Okay. For Coach Dunn, I'm Brad Wilbur. Thanks again for watching Wildcats Media Sports. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.